Okay, hello there. This is the third time I'm actually trying to record this video because I keep messing up my speech. But we have to talk about how we're going to have reduced service on buses and subways this week. So the MTA's being the Grinch. And this is right before New Year's. No surprise. It's what Prime Power LI always says. It's all part of the plan. But in any regard, plan or whatever's going on at this moment, you can blame the Omicron variant. Or, as my friend was saying to me when we spoke on the phone tonight, he called it the vulgar name variant, which I'm not even going to go there. Because this is supposedly a family friendly channel. But, in any regard, we do have to talk about this because a lot of people are going to get double crossed this week because remember, it is the holidays. People do have off. And especially now that we have vaccines, the medication just got approved by the FDA for Pfizer and Merck. You would think that more people would feel comfortable going to see the sights and sounds of New York City before the year is over. Especially because a lot of the holiday stuff is still going to be around before New Year's. But it seems they're double crossing all the tourists this week, and they're double crossing all the other essential workers who need the service this week. And I'm just going to say this right now. Thank goodness I do not have to take the Q88 this week because I was supposed to take it to see my barber, but my dad offered to drive me this week. So thank goodness I do not have to wait in the cold or in the rain just for a round trip bus between Fresh Meadows and Bayside this week. So that does remind me I have to call my barber tomorrow to see if he'll take me on Wednesday. But we do have to talk about this. You can blame again Omicron. Strap hangers may have a longer wait over the coming days as the MTA pulls trains out of service to accommodate sick calls related to the new variant. The transit agency put out a warning today that the next several days would see significant impacts to the daily schedule, at least through this Thursday, December 30th. So we will read the tweets in question. By reducing scheduled service, we're able to reallocate train crews when they're needed rather than cancel individual trips. We're also working quickly to implement New York State's revised quarantine guidelines for essential workers, which will help with staff shortages. So, what the MTA is referring to in this tweet is an announcement that the Wicked Witch of Buffalo, which that's what I'm going to call her because she doesn't seem to care about the crime. In fact, there was a shooting in the Bronx, which I don't even want to get into, that happened today, but the point is, she made an announcement on Christmas Eve saying that, oh, if you're an essential worker, you have to quarantine for 5 days after you test positive, and then after the 5th day, you need to test negative to go back to work. Well, I'm certainly hoping Northwell and Osnum, for my situation, they're going to follow the new CDC guidance that came out right before Christmas Eve, where if you've had either the Pfizer or Moderna full dose, or if you've received your booster, or you've gotten the Johnson & Johnson and have been boosted, if you have a positive test, you're supposed to quarantine for 7 days, and then after the 7th day, in order to go back to work, supposedly, you're supposed to test negative. So I'm hoping that my job sites are going to reevaluate everything because we're so short-staffed at the nursing home right now, it's just crazy. In fact, I'll just admit it. I don't care if I get in trouble for saying this. Some floors, nurses are missing in action. So, trust me, you know how bad staffing shortages are. Even my other coworkers are in agreement that, it's not just us. It's like everyone gets impacted. Everybody does. It's not just residents in the nursing home. Customers in the store get impacted. Sometimes you'll go to a drugstore, the pharmacist is not even there, and, everyone's short-staffed, and this is the proof right here. This is what needs to be priority number one for Eric Adams when he becomes mayor. Not just the crime, not just the congestion pricing, But I feel the new mayor, when he takes the oath of office on Saturday, he needs to prioritize getting people back to work. We're not going to have a proper recovery if people are just still staying home and they're not doing anything. All right, I'm going back to work a week from tomorrow. And I'm not supposed to get off till Martin Luther King week because that's my mom's birthday. So, I'm also going to read this. So, obviously, we're not going to get more into that. And they don't even mention how many workers have been impacted. So there you go. And obviously, the airlines are having problems. You know, Delta and United, they're having issues. So many flights have gotten canceled. You know, this transportation nightmare is just continuing. I want to show you this because this is just ridiculous. All right, you tell me how this is acceptable. So for Christmas Eve, back on Friday, and for this Friday, New Year's Eve, guess what they're doing? Guess what they're doing? Okay, so at least the good news is they are going to run on a reduced weekday schedule. But you know what's going on here. You know what's going on here. A lot of the depots for the buses can't even fill the runs because they don't have enough staff. And then on Christmas Eve, you know what they did? They ran on a Saturday schedule. How do you run on a Saturday schedule on Christmas Eve when people are trying to get to their destination? I mean, obviously, I know for Christmas, they always run on a Sunday schedule, but still. And then you have a reduced weekday schedule. I mean, people are going to be traveling this week. Tomorrow's supposed to be a very busy travel day. It's like, you don't mean diddly squat to them. You know, this is ridiculous. And then look, they had to update this. Oh, and then look at this. Subways are going to operate on a Saturday schedule, so all those crowds who are going to be at Times Square for the ball drop, they're going to get double-crossed. There's going to be more crowded subway cars because not enough crew is going to be available. So there you go. What a nice way to ring in the new year by the MTA, it looks like, huh? I mean, imagine we have a similar situation like my birthday on Monday, November 8th of this year, where some subway lines are either not running or they're delays because of crew availability. We could be going back to that again. We could be. And I'm very scared of that. Now, thankfully for yours truly, if I'm going to work on Monday via public transit, all I need is just walk over to Utopia Parkway and get the Q31. But what if there's not enough staff available to get me over to Francis Lewis and Northern that morning, huh? You tell me that. You tell me that. That's a nice way to welcome in the new year. You know, I'm sorry for ranting, but this has to be done. This has to be done. And I'm not even going to get into commuter rail lines, but let's just take a look at the other buses for an example. So, Nice Bus, you know what they're doing? You know what they're doing. Enhanced weekend service. So it was like that for Christmas Eve, and it was like that for New Year's Eve. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. And then look at this, Suffolk County Transit. I mean, they're running a regular weekday schedule on New Year's Eve in Suffolk. Is it like Steve Malone knows there's more on the line just because he knows he's leaving office in a year? Hasn't he done enough to ruin Suffolk County? That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time, and trust me, I am going to call out Steve Malone next year. That is going to happen. Because I'll be very shocked if a Republican doesn't flip that seat next year. I mean, how could you elect a 3-term Democrat in that county? It's normally a Republican county. And I said, I'm sorry for ranting, but I'm just so upset what's going on. Alright? I'm just ranting because this is the way we get treated. This is the way we get treated. So obviously, look at this. Westchester. Thank you, George Latimer. He's actually doing the right thing. They're running a regular weekday service on Friday. So it seems the only person that has common sense right now is George Latimer. Yep, Westchester. So to wrap up this video, we're going to watch my colleague, Andrew Lee. This is what he had to deal with on Thursday.
1964 on the N25 with the rear engine up. My goodness me. Way to ring in Christmas and 2022. Okay, so here we go with your crazy bus shenanigans today. When I was in Lake Success, apparently...
So let me rewind this part right here. Look at this! This was bus 1964 on Lakeville Road at the Lake Success Shopping Center. The back engine cover left open. So, Bruce Blakeman, I really hope you're watching. I really hope you are watching this video. I called you out weeks ago when I witnessed the bus breakdown at Long Island Jewish.
When I was in Lake Success, apparently 1964 on the N25, now I'm looking at the N58, he was driving with the engine cover up. Really? We got an N25 coming, we have an N26 that's pretty much right here in front of me, right now.
I don't want to watch that part. I want to fast forward to the part where Andrew was waiting at Long Island Jewish and he was stuck on the Queens Nassau line for a half hour. Yeah, anybody remember when that happened to me pre-pandemic when I was trying to go to Central Park from Long Island Jewish? Yeah, I think we all remember that video, huh? We're not even gonna watch my dramatization of that again. Here we go. So let's watch this part.
Here we go again with Queens Village and their freaking operator availability issues tonight. I've been waiting for now a half hour for the Q46. Just missed it about 20 minutes ago. And now this bus here, 4519, he's heading back to the depot with nobody on this bus. And at least 7 people are, well, so, including myself, we're waiting here half hour in the cold, waiting for a bus to get home.
Completely unacceptable. And it gets even worse. Andrew was telling me today, the day after Christmas, driver availability issues again on the Q46 between Long Island and the Kew Gardens Transit Terminal. So, this is what we're facing right before the new year. And we're all facing this crisis together, and we must continue fighting the good fight. So that's it, and thank you for watching.